Welcome to The Heaven, a 5-star Airbnb situated in Nakuru, Naka. Ample parking, tight security 24/7, smart lock on the door, homely ambience. The interior is superb, fully furnished with modern lounge, fully equipped kitchen with dishwasher, washing machine, cooker, fridge, Wi-Fi, smart TV and board games. 3-bedroom apartment, 2 master en suites, common bathroom. The Haven. It's located along the old Nairobi highway. Come and enjoy the presidential stay at The Haven, where we welcome you to a home away from home.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Jim Getani, a fashion model participating in the Nakuru Fashion Week.
Hi, I'm Magdalene Takanyiro. I'm 22, student at Kabarak University. I'm happy and grateful to be part of Nakuru Fashion Week.
Hello, my name is Jojo Walid. Today's Jazz at Nakuru Fashion Week. For today, I just say thank you to the models who have appeared here. And thank you to the crew, Pambazuka and everybody. I welcome you to the main show happening this coming March here in Nakuru. Thank you.
So good afternoon. My name is Justin Lo. I'm a male model based in Nairobi. This is my first time in Nakuru. I'm very proud, courtesy of Pambazuka events. And I hope to see you in the main event.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much for the support. This is episode 12. Keep watching, keep subscribing. I'm thankful for the numbers coming. Today we have great guests. Oh, where do I start from?
Ladies first.
Ladies first, huh? Kako. Yeah. Introduce yourself to our...
Okay, my name is Caroline Moirimo. I was Miss Cooperative University 2018, 2019, and first runners-up Miss University Kenya 2019-2020.
There's a queen herself. Welcome to the studio. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Peter.
Yes.
With 2 English names, Jaluo. Kindly let the guests know who you are.
All right. Hi everyone. My name is Felix Peter. I go by the name FPD Don. Of course, I was Miss University of Nairobi 2016. And currently radio host at Uptown Radio. And of course, I'm a commercial model, voice actor, and yes, I do write and of course direct, and I as well as act. So yes, I also sell suits. Fashion designer, you know.
He's a fashion designer, and he's not just a model. He was Mr. The University of Nairobi, one of the most renowned universities in Africa. And today we want to hear more about what he does as a fashion designer, business entrepreneur, an actor, and all that. But before we go to that, Carol is here today, was Miss Cooperative, worked very well in the Miss University and became first runners-up. And today still doing a lot of fashion modeling and design. Carol.
Yes.
Tell us how your journey in modeling started.
It's a funny story.
Yeah.
It started when I joined campus. So when I was walking on the streets of campus cooperative.
But the cooperative with your Carol, the top.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, people used to think I'm a model, which I didn't know more about modeling. So when they started to the first Miss Cooperative was 2018. So I decided to join in, and that's how I started modeling. And ever since, I've never looked back.
You're the first Miss Cooperative?
Yes.
Oh, that I know today. And I think of late, the last 3 years, Cooperative has been one of the strongest universities that do pageantry. Thank you so much for starting this journey. Good. There's always a place to start. And I think Felix, at the University of Nairobi, where we have almost 9 9 or 10 campuses, all in Nairobi, apart from the ones out of this big city of Nairobi. Yes. How did you start?
All right. Actually, my story is funny because when I go to University of Nairobi, first of all, I found out that modeling is something that was actually happening. There are so many models within the halls of residence, and of course, I used to see guys, just putting on suits. And of course, because I was a suits guy, I came in, and of course, my style was actually just putting on suits. I used just to put on official clothes, and then of course, and I noticed some of these guys putting on suits. Some of them designer suits. So I got to ask some of them because then I got to interact with them. Birds of a feather, something like that. So I got to ask some of these guys, how is this? And then I'm like, that's when I noticed actually this is modeling. Initially, I didn't know about modeling. I didn't know about modeling. I come from my high school is deep in the village. So when I go to Nairobi and then now University of Nairobi, and then I go to see these guys and just to confirm, and then I found out, these are models. And then of course now I got to understand what modeling is. At the time actually I got so much scares because guys were telling me, what modeling is full of, there's immorality in modeling and something like that. So I was like, morality so now I got to do a lot of research, and of course now with time I think I got to University of Nairobi in 2013, but now I got to become a model actually in 2016. It took me a whole 3 years just to get to know what modeling is, how is it, because initially I just saw guys in good suits, some of them actually eventually do fashion designing. So actually now Mr. University of Nairobi became my first modeling gig.
Wow, great. One of the things that you say that is key and is worldwide known for modeling, which is not a fact. They say modeling is full of immorality. One of the things is where we come from is pageantry, where they say, I did hear a lot of people saying, she won because she knew the judges, she slept with the judges and stuff like that. And probably for Felix, it might not be such an issue because sleeping probably for man is pride. But Carol, were there stories, Carol won because he knew or he slept? Because that's generally the talk. In some places where the event is not so keen, probably that happens. But maybe from you, how was it?
The first time when I joined Miss Cooperative University, like the Pageantry, it was tough because we were competing with people who used to know people. Me, I didn't know anyone, so it was my first time. But at the same time, I think when you give it your all, even when people talk, you don't care. Even when we were at Miss University, there were such complaints, you remember? So I think when you have the passion, just go for it. People will talk, but at the end of it all, you do your best. Because people will always talk. People will say, Mimo with Licky, Mimo with who. But when you give it, if you have that passion, give it your all. Don't let whatever people are saying affect you.
Rightfully. Felix.
Yes.
You've done this, Mr. Nairobi University, succeeded, crowned, you're in Mr. University. One important thing that relates with this, you got away from that and now we're just jumping before we come back. You've been a pageant judge for several years now. Is there a point where either somebody has wanted to corrupt you or other process where somebody says, I have this or I have my soul to give it to you? I want you to let us know, does this happen? Is it happen? Because I know it happens, yes. But has it happened to you?
All right, frankly, I would like really to be honest. These are things that we've seen, and we have actually known some of these models, especially models. There are some models, like we said, that modeling, initially there was the idea of modeling has a lot of immorality. Now, then I came to find out later, that really they are individuals that are really not models. They are not models, because modeling, probably give another time, another chance, we are able really to give a talk on what modeling is. And I know, Mr. Liki, you've also done a lot in even letting people know what really modeling is. So there are guys who actually get into modeling, they are not really models, honestly speaking. And now we find them ourselves, interacting with them. And one thing that has really worked for me is that I've been really mean. Or maybe I just look mean, when I'm judging and everything else. So I don't get confronted with such issues, but I see it a lot, especially in some pageants, some of these, especially the club pageants, where now people are doing club pageants. It's happening a lot. But for me, I've been very mean. I look mean. Because I mean, so most of the time I really don't get. But of course, you see here, once or twice, you see some models trying to bring in some, some kind of attitude and some kind of jokes, even in the runway, that really looks to, to lure you, to try to, persuade you and to tell you, what, you can give me this, you can give me this. But
rightfully said, and I think because what actually happens is the industry where we are, it's more of skin and soul, so we're easily judged. I mean, in everything in this country, when people want to go into the military recruitment, you see people giving money. We've had political issues where they say the commissioner was corrupt and stuff like that. It's everywhere, but because this directly involves the humanity, then we're easily judged. And I think in every game, there are crooks and the rightful people, and that's why part of this Sash Style, we want to make sure you go into it rightfully and have the right mentorship. I have a lot of guests who've come and have gone through this. So if you're watching or listening to us and want to get into this pageantry business, or you want to be a fashion model, or you want to be a designer, just do due diligence and you'll get the right stuff. So moving on, Carol, yes. Miss Cooperative, you're the first Miss, and you're now getting to a stage where you have to represent the school. It's not anymore that girl who was walking the street and people thought, she can be a model. Yeah. Now you are learning the strings of the game, inside the game already. You come into Miss University, you're trying to convince the school. I don't know how it was, because sometimes some institutions have not understood this as a career, I think because of that old school thinking in the deans and probably the principals and stuff, and maybe vice chancellors. How was it coming in as the first beauty queen at Cooperative? They are trying to convince them, I need to pursue this career further.
I think for me it wasn't that tough because I used to talk to the dean, the VC. We were friends, so me going to them, asking them for support, they gave me that chance. And the president of the school was also there for me, so for me it wasn't that tough, going to ask for assistance. Yeah.
Very good. What Carol said is important, and most of us don't take it very serious. Carefully, you must be able to relate with people so that your things are done well. Some people think they're so beautiful to be able to step on the floor or be able to just say thank you. And we're going to come to this topic later in the show, maybe in the second half. Some people have gotten very difficult because I call the dean and the dean is like, no, huyo hawezi. She runs around with men in this school. So again, for you to be a model, and model, let's say for you to be a beauty queen, you must be morally upright. You must do it correctly because it's leadership. Bana Felix.
Yes.
You went to a university where things are strict, and I remember, I think your dean was Father Mugunda, very difficult guy to deal with. I met him many times. Yeah. First, he's a Catholic father. Mm. For those guys who lived in my ears, probably they would understand his story, but that's not for today. Mm. It was very difficult for most of the University of Nairobi students to come into Mr. and Miss University because of the politics that father had.
Because I don't know, coming from a religion, from a religion first of all?
Yes, we've discussed this. I think Odado Kelo was here, and because he's in pageantry and he would understand the relationship between pageantry and Christianity.
Yes.
In fact, he mentioned the first pageant organizer. He was God himself because he had two models, Adam and Eve,
Yes.
and he dressed them. So, and the story went on and on. How was it dealing with Father Mugunda to convince him this is a career, because they still don't believe modeling is a career?
Yes. Actually, what's happening currently is that University of Nairobi is really actually working towards ensuring that models actually have, they have incentives. See, like right now, our current VC, Professor Kiabe, what he's done is that he's ensured that at least those models, actually the current Mr. and Miss, they have something really to, in the end of the day, in the end of the month, they can actually have something really to go about their business and representing the school and being the ambassadors of fashion, University of Nairobi ambassadors, of fashion. And that is something really to applaud. And now, just to go back again years back, especially now when I was becoming Mr. UN in 2016. I was getting into Mr. UN in 2016 when already the current Mr. then had been there for the last 4 years. And now what actually ensued before his crowning was that there was actually chaos even in that crowning.
That's one that happened at KCC?
Yes, the one that happened in KCC.
Yeah.
There was actually a lot of chaos that ensued from it, and I think that is actually another something that actually formed a base for for Father Omoguras not really supporting this as much, because actually it was related with chaos and something like that. So actually it was really tough having to to convince the Honorable Dean just to actually facilitate us, me and my queen, the current the former Miss Kelly, to represent the University of Nairobi at the Mr. Universities Kenya.
Yeah, I remember Kelly, the 6'2",
Yes.
the medic,
Yes.
getting into pageantry. And when they say the ladies in pageantry have no brains, I don't know where that maths come from, because she was a student of medicine.
Yes.
And I remember Nairobi University, 2009, I organized the event through Honorable Babu Owino.
Yes.
It was one of the most beautiful events ever done for Nairobi University. I took the event to Carnival, and these guys were like, boss, how do you take the Nairobi University to Carnival? They'll break everything. And I was like, no, it depends on how you organize and manage the event.
Yes.
And manage the students. So it was so successful that not even a single spoon got lost at Carnival. And I agree with you. I was judging this UN last year at Bomas of Kenya, one of the biggest, I think, university pageant that was done. And same time, I think Babu was one of the guests of honor.
Yes.
And I remember him when he was giving the speech, and said, I remember Leaky, when I was a student leader, he still was doing this thing. We need to support him with this pageantry thing. So I think, as we said, it's that relationship that you have with the people you're working around.
Yes.
Madam Carol, you're done, you're at the university, you're now at the pageant,
Yes.
Miss and Miss University. For sure, this is one of the greatest and the hardest pageants. You have like 2 to 3 months of training. Most universities don't train so much in terms of catwalk. Maybe 1 week or 2 weeks. Then you get to Nairobi, get to Miss and Miss University and get baby there. And she has rules like from here to then.
Yeah.
How did you manage to, from being just very fresh from high school, then getting into pageantry in university, then you're coming to a very intensive training at Mr. and Miss University? How was it?
So, what you don't know, I've tried Miss Universe Kenya, Miss Tourism Kirinyaga County, and I've gotten to the top. Like, not for Miss Universe 2018, I was top 20, among the top 20. And then which I was proud of myself, and that's when I decided I'm gonna continue doing this now and then. I went for Miss Tourism the same year. I was top 3, but now we didn't go. They picked someone else. And then that's when when we started like Miss University Kenya, I think I was a strong girl, a tough girl by then. So it was tough, though, the training and everything, coming for training every now and then. It was tough, but at the same time, when you're strong, when you want to pursue something, you have to go for it. Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah, truly said.
Yeah.
There's that part where you do your squat in your heels. You have to be punished if you don't do it correctly.
Yeah.
There's just too much. And like you said, you're already a strong woman and you really wanted this thing. As a beauty queen, there's a lot that needs to go through. It's just like the political campaign, where if you don't do your things right, then you don't make it. If you have a trainer who's tough, like you had a trainer, Deborah, who believes in perfection and still believe in Christianity and things done right, you end up being the best after that. And I think maybe the question will come in later, how much did that training help you in future in what you pursue? So guys, keep watching, keep listening to these people who've already been there and made it. Felix,
Yes.
I think you went through the same trainer at Miss University. No, you did Mr. and Miss Nairobi University.
Yes.
Qualified.
Yes.
And came for
Mr.
University Kenya.
Yes.
Which was again one of the most. In fact, your year was one of the most difficult years we could talk about. You guys went for cleanup in Eastlands. Where was it? Dandora? Korogocho. Yes. And we went for the boot camp in Kilifi. There was too much.
Yes.
Tell us your experience at Mr. and Miss University.
I would say my experience at Mr. University Kenya is something that actually I would call now modeling for me, because it's more like becoming. That's when I actually got to realize who I really am as a model. Because you see now, just coming from my first pageantry in of course in the University of Nairobi, and then I won. Then now coming to now stage where I also have other misters, and also interview with other misses from different universities across the region, of course, across the country. So I got the very first thing is that I got to really learn from different individuals. People who come from the hands of different choreographers and trainers. And then now, the main experience now at the Mr. University Kenya was just something to really, it's something I can never forget.
Your trainer was ABC.
ABC was my trainer.
Yeah.
ABC taught me catwalk, and then he also shaped how really I got to interact with people. He also helped me understand myself. See, now some people will not tell you, this is how you can put it. Actually, that's when I got to know how the best kind of suit that I can put on, not just every other suit, or how really to piece up my suit.
Yeah.
I got really to learn a lot from him. And also there are also a number of gentlemen that also came to boot camps that actually got to talk to us and just to tell us something about pageantry and also just generally grooming and stuff like that. I remember meeting Mr. Burale, and of course he was talking to us about grooming and just being a gentleman and stuff like that. So for me, that was actually a whole lot of modeling like becoming. Kutengeneza, modeling into,
It's something that people don't really understand, that modeling you have to go through a lot, a course by itself. They think it's just the catwalk and stuff like that. We just had Felix saying he went through training. He knew himself through the modeling stuff. He learned etiquette and all that from Burale. So we bring a lot of people to try and get you to that space where you have to be a leader, and leader does not just come from anywhere. You must have a bit of training to be able to achieve all this. Carol, you've done Miss University, you've done so well, you gone for boot camp.
Yes.
Was it your first time in that town? How was the boot camp? What was the experience?
Yeah, it was my first time. We went to Kisumu, right?
Kisumu City.
Yes.
The Leos will not forgive you for calling it Kisumu.
Kisumu City.
Yeah.
Boot camp was nice. It was amazing. And then you get to connect with people like from different universities, male, female. It was amazing for me. And we learned a lot. We had people who were training us. We learned a lot. It was epic. I loved it.
Yeah, it's one of the few pageants that have the real boot camp. I see them, Miss World, Miss Tourism. They do the daily boot camp where you go during the day, go to do social work in a mall and stuff like that. At this university, the boot camp is actually 4 days of serious stuff. You wake up at 4 and sleep at 11. By 3 o'clock, the trainer is waking you up, the photographer, and the stuff is tough. We've been very lucky to have the best places to take the contestants to boot camp. Like I think during the Nakaru's were at Acacia, and what was the apartment? I forgot the name, but Acacia is one of the leading hotels in the western region, not just Kisumu. So you feel the comfort and stuff like that. People think, people are seeing you from the outside, don't know exactly what you're going through. A few weeks ago, I think episode 3, we had one of the former beauty queens that made it through the military. She's in the American Army. And she says the boot camp shaped her. When she went into the boot camp, when guys were suffering to start getting into that American training is crazy. So she says training during Miss University really helped her. So again, for those guys who are organizing pageantry, don't just take it off the face. I see a lot of guys doing the club modeling where they just call ladies and gents, and they just the same day they run in the crowd. And I don't think that's modeling. That's pageantry. That probably would call it fashion show and stuff like that, but not pageantry. My brother.
Yes.
Where was your boot camp? Where did you go for the boot camp?
Actually, we had one boot camp in the Kima Gardens.
Yes.
That's the same place that we actually guys used to train.
Yeah.
That's just off Ngong Road. And of course, I think we had 2 days. So we actually spent a night, and of course the next day. So it was just a whole lot of interaction and just learning. And of course, that's when we really go to interact beyond just the training that we normally have, catwalk training and the dances, choreography. This is more like getting on a personal level with guys so that we get to interact and really share ideas. And also that's also some places that we actually got to, formulate on some of these projects that we would do as Miss and Miss, of course, universities, Kenya, through, of course, the right leadership with Mr. Leke. We go to really, that's when we actually planned on a number of, activities, including visiting children's home and of course a number of CSRs that we actually got to do. So a point of really, learning and really getting to mold into really what a beauty queen and a king really should do and what is really our purpose. So that we really go to understand that it is just not just beauty, for beauty, but beauty with a purpose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Just before we go for the first break, and Felix, I just forgot.
Yes.
The boot camp was totally different. What we did was we got the camping tents. My office used to be at Kima Gardens. It's on along Gong Road, just before Adams Arcade. And I had a compound, a big compound, about almost 3/4 of an acre. So we got the sleeping tents. We had a good time. So the guys cooked. We changed the mbuzis, the cuckoos, the girls were there. We should do it again. The bonding is massive. Yeah. So at that point, you cannot pretend. If you can't wash dishes, if you can't share stuff with people, then that's where now we realize, this one cannot be a beauty queen and stuff like that. So again, sometimes when you ask yourself, why didn't I win? Probably there are a few things that you didn't get right. Yes. So just like again I said, check yourself, due diligence, be rightful, want to do it. And before we go on, I want to close this part 1. We'll see you back again in a few minutes. Thank you so much for listening to us. Keep watching.
Hello world, Namaste India. I am Shantu Kwamboka, representing the land of Hakuna Matata, Kenya.
Kenya yetu, Hakuna Matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni mwakaribishwa Kenya yetu, hakuna matata. Ngiti jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni mwakaribishwa Kenya yetu, hakuna matata.
Welcome to The Heaven, a 5-star Airbnb situated in Nakuru, Naka. Ample parking, tight security 24/7, smart lock on the door, homely ambience. The interior is superb, fully furnished with modern lounge, fully equipped kitchen with dishwasher, washing machine, cooker, fridge, Wi-Fi, smart TV and board games. 3-bedroom apartment, 2 master en suites, common bathroom. The Haven. It's located along the old Nairobi highway. Come and enjoy the presidential stay at The Haven, where we welcome you to a home away from home.
Good. We're back again. Thank you so much for keeping your eye on. Now we started with the ladies. Now I want to start with the gents. Felix.
Yes.
So much has happened since Mr. University. I've seen you go into acting and done it very well. I've seen you go into radio and you're doing well. Is there anything, part of what you learned in Miss University and Mr. UN that has pushed you to do this even better?
Yes. First of all, is actually the bit of from our boot camps that I actually had, and a number of interactions of course I had from just by interaction with the misters and the misses, and of course our trainers all through. There's a lot of understanding on. There's first of all time management, and then there's also the bit of grooming, and not just grooming, but of course just taking care of yourself and ensuring that you be really a good representation of what you really want people to be outside there. We say that the fact that first is being in the pageantry with a purpose. Not just for, you're just being a model, but also having a purpose. So that means that you are able to actually even impact people outside there. So then, now for me, just like I had mentioned, having gone through the Mr. Universities Kenya, and of course Mr. Universities Kenya, after the Mr. University of Nairobi, got to teach me so much on really how to, to interact with people, one, and how to really treat people, that's number 2, and how to respect people again, and also to be representable. And so that means that has really molded me into something that how could I describe it? It's something that helps me really navigate through all this, navigate through the industry, the art industry, from actually acting. There's also modeling, where I now actually go to, train a number of models, choreograph, and of course also judging. So there is a lot of really not really compensating, but really, coming in together in terms of really understanding a lot on socials and on understanding people so much, how to interact with people so much, really, that has really complemented even what I studied in the University of Nairobi, which is a social science.
Thank you. Just to add to that, Carol.
Yes.
I've noticed a lot of times that I think till last year, I don't know if they're still involving you this year, that the cooperative university still involves you when they're doing the pageantry. It's not that, 4 or 5 years after, you're the key one. There's some who went after you. What is it that is so important that the others didn't have, that keeps these guys coming back to you?
What do I have? Okay, I don't know what I have. But at the same time, I believe since they see what I do out here, apart from whatever I did at Miss Cooperative University, then for me, I used to go for auditions after Miss Cooperative, which is for runway and everything. And I think they have been watching me for years, and they're proud of me, and they can't they can't do without me.
Thank you. And I think Carol's really put it well, that you present yourself so well that people cannot get any mistakes to judge you anymore. She did a part, became first runner-up after just getting into pageantry in the university space. She's gone back to school to talk to the fellow contestants, which is key. Some people give up, say, nimemaliza hiyo shule, why should I go back, and stuff like that. There's something about giving back that pays back your time. Even the Bible says, once you give, they'll give you 100 times what you're giving. So we need to, as a queen, or aspiring to be a queen, just be kind, like Peter said, respect time. Time is key, and time is key in any event you're doing, any professional. Time is key. If you're told work is at 8, you can't come at 9. And nobody will wait for you. Sorry. Just to move slightly a bit, Peter, you went into now training models and stuff like that.
Yes.
What led you to that? I watched you train some kids in Nakuru 2 weeks ago, and the passion reminds me of ABC when he was training. Brief the audience exactly what this gives you as a person.
Yeah, right. Actually, now, just like I mentioned initially, that actually my very first gig in modeling was the Mr. University of Nairobi. And now I actually go to train and really perfect my work and perfect molding myself into that person that I would also be proud of. And then I saw a number of people that also, those days so many people wanted to get into modeling. I don't know why. After I became Mr. UN, and of course now I just go to see, I got so many people who aspire to be models. So actually my very first CSR was with models in the university. So I actually took a number of models, about 30 models. And I used to train every other 2 days of the week. And actually I'm very proud because most of them know, a number of them later became beauty pageants here. They became beauty pageants, a number of pageants actually across town, across the city. And I'm very proud. And now it gives me joy because I was molded into somebody that I can see. You understand? I can give a difference between who I was and who I am as a model, as a mister, and who I am. And of course that the bit of that bit of modeling, so molding. So I actually feel like really impacting others as well. Just sharing, that would be really nice because people are struggling. Personally, I came in from a very long, from a tough space. Just to be that model. First, it took me 3 years just doing research on how this thing is. There are issues, like I said, morality. People are talking about immorality. Then now, myself and I sat down. Is it really immorality or what? Now, as a good student of, economics and statistics, you understand? There is a representation. So I really found out it's not everyone. It's a section of people. Not everyone has good intentions. But of course, now you understand in what space do you work. So those are some of those things that I've really, now having walked through that, and also having, passed through the hands of very good trainers, including ABC, and of course Manasseh Nyaga. Manasseh Nyaga is a fashionista. Yes. Yeah, that was my first trainer. That gentleman, he used to see me. I used to walk, I had just come in from my training, Zakarate. I used to do martial arts. So now I couldn't make my moves right. And he used to tell me, but okay, you'll just get it right. So when I actually shifted from my karate walk to really a model walk.
So the walk.
That's training. It was tough. Have you seen even some ladies, they can't really get that stride right.
Yeah.
And some of them actually fall out from trainings. So when you notice such kind of people, these are the people I talk to. Because myself, I know I was in the baddest place. I was mine was worse.
Yeah, so there's a walk in karate and then there's a catwalk.
Yes.
So that really helped you.
He's a man of war. He's just a man of war.
So you just took me back in 2009 when I was organizing Mr. and Miss Nairobi University with very strong student leaders at Sono. One of them was Babu, who was the president. Then there was a gentleman who is now CEC in Nyandarua. I don't remember his name, but he was in charge of sports. So that year we did aggressive, because I like going the whole hog.
Yes.
So the school gave us a whole bus to go to Kandara in Moranga with Mr. Kamau, the guy in charge of Jiga, Hadi, and Cecilia Mwangi. So the Nairobi University students, all the contestants from the 9 campuses, down to Moranga, and we did an excellent job. There's something about charity that just changes the way you look at the world. When you complain, you're in there, look for money, and there's that poverty. When you go out and see people who cannot afford a meal, then you realize you're in a good place. Guys who have no place to sleep. Then as a beauty queen, it teaches you on morality, that that pizza that you buy and throw it away. There's a kid who is just outside the pizza place, who's not eaten for the last 3 days, and it's a reality. And those are some of the things that we teach in modeling. And Carol, for the last I think year or so, you've been supporting my charity events, and it's just natural. There's a time where guys do give charity, but they want the cameras and stuff.
For sure.
Carol sometimes never even comes. So just, hey Baba, the M-Pesa comes and stuff like that. Was this from home, or it came in during this journey of pageantry?
It's from home.
Yes.
I've always been a giver, even not even when I started pageantry. I think my mom taught me right. Yeah, so I've always been a giver, and it's not you only who I support. I do it even at home.
Wow.
I can send mom some money, and I'm like, just buy someone something and make them happy, because you don't know. The way you said, you have kids outside there who haven't eaten, and you have eaten, and you're throwing away food, which is not okay. Always share. That kindness goes a long way.
Thank you so much. Carol has learned it from her mom and came into Miss University, and we were doing it, and she's now doing it to freehand. And I mean, the Bible tells us the more you give, the more you get. So again, as a beauty queen, if you cannot sacrifice. It's not about how much you have. It's just that love. Go and see the sea kind of stuff. People don't have that time because I'm a beauty queen. I look nice. Why should I go to Kenyatta Hospital where people are smelling and stuff like that? My friend, you will not survive longer. Carol was Miss University in 2018. I think how many years those are, but still has interest in pageantry, still mentors a lot of these young people. So again, we want to see the former queens mentoring these young people who are going to pageantry. There are a lot of crooks out here who are misleading these young people. So again, once they're misled, then there's confusion and people think the industry is just a quack industry. So for those who have this opportunity and love the pageantry, I've been in it for 20 years and I still love it. I know that I'm making money, but I think I want to see the youth of Kenya getting into that space. My love for Miss World has been for years. Africa has not done very well in Miss World compared to Miss Universe. It's been the last time Africa won, the first and the last time Africa won was in 2001 in Sun City, South Africa, when the lovely Nigerian girl Agbani Derego won the pageant. It's been 23 years. We need to get it back. If Kenya doesn't get it, then we get it back in Nigeria, get it, or Ivory Coast. The big countries that support Miss World in Africa, and we have to demand. We have to get that place, and you can only get this when we have good practice, good ways of doing our stuff. We have a lady who's just left the country 2 days ago for the Miss World in India.
In India, yes.
I don't know how well she's prepared, but the country must be behind them. If you look at the big countries like Philippines, anytime there's social media stuff, the Philippines are there in millions. And that gives them a chance to be in the top because pageant is like any business. If then you don't have support, Kenya is just there with their girl. But you cannot be given that opportunity.
Yes.
It's not that the pageant is corrupt, but it's a way of how to do. Any business has their ways of doing. For example, I give an example, Gor Mahia. It may not be the best team in Kenya, but the support that they have gives them morale. The fan base gives them the morale to perform very well. So Kenyans, let's support this girl. She's contesting this month, next month. Talk to her, give her courage and stuff like that. I know Kenyans are good on social media and they can be very negative sometimes. Let's be positive. Let's give Shantu Kombox support that she needs. My brother Felix.
Yes.
You're in acting and you're an director.
Yes.
How's that connection with pageantry? Because I remember I was just telling guys, one of the most sorted actresses in this country started as a model. Lupita Nyong'o first won a pageant called Miss Malaika. Miss Malaika was one of the biggest African pageants by a Nigerian called Ajovi, who was doing Miss Malaika and the Gospel Award. What was his name? I keep forgetting, but immediately she left pageantry. She got into serious business of acting, went to School of Acting in America, and Pap, the first African lady, the first African, not lady, the first African to win the Oscars award. So how did the ABC and your acting and your pageantry help you get a place in acting?
In acting?
Yes.
All right. Actually, funny enough, I got into acting before I got into modeling. Of course, I was doing set books with the gentleman Aliwa David, and we went to a number of schools in Kisii. And then, of course, now I got back to school. And of course, now between that time and of course 2016, now we're just trying to understand how modeling is as well. And one thing that actually did change is that now there's a change of attitude in terms of really how to, look at this, because I'm looking at it like it is all possible. I could say that probably when I was acting, doing the set books, what I really got is the fact that, well, I could act. But you see, now there's something that also comes with modeling, where now I have more confidence, even in myself, because now I also understand. I remember my director used to tell me, well, you just You understand? So now actually coming to interact with the likes of ABC and also Mr. Burari, and the fact that now they go through, I got to understand really myself. I got to understand myself in terms of really how I represent myself. From attitude to even how the appearance important, how to put on and how to interact with people, being a gentleman. Who is a gentleman? Not just being a gentleman by name, Also getting to, be somebody who can really talk to people and listen to people as well, being somebody who is charitable as well. That is something that also I got to learn from here. So it has really helped me even relating with, fellow artists. And actors, and even now when I'm having actor, like right now I'm training some students for some show somewhere. We are going through, directing some play. Now, understanding each individual and understanding where their weaknesses are and helping them, because myself, I know where I come from and having really unlearned something. So it is easy for me really to relate with everyone, even as in this art industry. Like it is modeling, it is now the basis. Like it's molding actually. Yeah. It's modeling. Now it's molding, becoming, like I mentioned, just giving a whole different definition. Modeling, now molding. It's only that English they already came up with the word molding. They already took it for once.
Great. Madam Carol, a career modeling, a career fashion person. You went, apart from modeling, you've done some fashion shows. I remember the wedding fashion show. What's it called? Samantha. And I've seen you do fashion photo shoots and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. How was that from pageantry into now serious modeling?
I think it's passion for me, because I had the passion for modeling, and actually I wanted to make money from that as well. So I started networking. We started going for auditions. You network with people. People will ask you to come for auditions again and again, and then someone will introduce you to someone who maybe wants to do a shoot, and then
Oh, good. So then in pageantry, where you're not making money, then you meet a lot of people in that process.
Yeah.
There's something called networking, which is very key. You cannot just be the person who goes on stage and you're bang and off. The opportunities that you have, the thing that, and I was getting this from Felix, when you're acting, you're maybe 20, 30 people on stage. There's that part of pageantry where you have to walk that walk alone and convince the judges that it's you. And that changes your whole world of how you think. So, like Carol said, with networking, you find probably you did not know Licky in your pageant. You meet Licky and you start talking about pageantry and whatever Licky does. So this gets me to the next question for Felix. Felix,
yes.
You've done acting, you've done fashion events and stuff like that. I know you've done some stuff for me where it's paying, it's activation, it's hostessing and stuff like that.
Yes.
How was it? Because again, in pageantry, we have so many, like Miss University, probably there are like 12 men or 15, but then very few of them come back to work for me or work with me. How was it? Now you've done pageant, you've used money, now you're making money.
Yes. Well, just again from the basis of where I started from, because from just doing a bit of research on really how modeling is, I was also told that back in the day, models used to make money. The guys used to make money. I can't lie, I've made some. Some. And just in this space, the fact that I can get jobs, there are many jobs. And not all the time, all the jobs pay. Because there are some jobs that you have to do them as a model because nobody else can do them. So now, if I got into modeling really number one, to know what I got to modeling after knowing what it is, what is involved here. You understand? I know that there are so many jobs. So I didn't just come to modeling because now I just for fun or anything. I came here personally to, to really get something out of it. There are people, yes?
Make money.
Yes, make money. You understand? Make money. And of course, easy jobs, Zico, their jobs are there. I have done, just like you mentioned, I've done some with you as well, because it is part of those some of those things that I actually looked into. Yes, so for me, it's something that is worth it. It's been,
yeah. So, Carol, I think one of the greatest jobs that we did together, I don't know if they're there, was some of those testing jobs that probably we met some people that we would not have met with even a degree. One of the jobs that I keep telling guys, if you're doing for me on testing, probably it's a golf club, it's a launch of a product. Number one, there must be the CEO for that company and their guests. So then if you don't network, then you don't make it.
Yeah.
My question is, when you're doing for me the host testing, did you ever meet people that later in life have been good friends or referred you somewhere where that 5,000, 2,000 that you got from that job, you never regret going to sleep that day?
Yeah, I've met amazing people through your jobs. I remember when we went for Baba's dinner. I met amazing people. Yeah. I think with modeling, people think it's just catwalking and all that. But for me, even whatever I'm doing right now, it's through modeling. I've never worked in any corporates. So whatever I'm doing right now, it's through the networking that I've gotten through maybe Leaky, someone else, and he knows that. Yeah, so when you get into modeling, when you have Baba, he's our Baba, we call him Baba. Yeah, so when you meet Leaky and he's willing to be part of your journey, just work with him. Yeah.
Thanks, Carol. Felix, one thing that people don't understand is there's the regalia that a model has.
Yes.
Most of the time they feel shy to dress it on. Because probably people will laugh while you go to the catwalk and stuff like that. And I keep telling my models, if you don't have that such, you're just like anyone. It's like a policeman without the kofia, the circle crown. Nobody cares about you, but when they see the crown, then you feel different. I'll give a short story before you answer this question. In 2021, during the COVID time, my late friend, may his soul rest in peace, Chris Kirubi, was launching the Kenyan Wheel at Two Rivers. And because of COVID, I remember not many people were invited for events.
Yes.
I was lucky to be one of the people invited for that launch. And I went with Miss University, Madam Ayera, and she had the sash, Miss University. So one of the guests that came was the president of the state, Uhuru Kenyatta. I remember that time Chris was getting very sick from cancer. He had just come back from the States. And the president was a bit late. It was because of COVID, there was not much work. So I remember President Uhuru driving himself and stuff. And because we were 50, and I met like 4 Kenyan presidents, including Ruto, but I think the greatest president was Uhuru Kenyatta. So he came in and he's a joyful guy, said hi to guys. Then I was seated with Madam Ayera, and he stopped. Miss Universe, no, she said, Miss University. And we had a chat for like a minute. You know, he was doing like 2 seconds for everyone, so everyone can, but the attention came through when I was talking to Miss University.
Yes.
It would have been just another girl and repeated through the 2 seconds. But because of the sash, it made a big difference. So I think the sash is something very important.
Yes.
I don't know how your sash helped you in terms of the function at the university, just having it, did it open doors for you in places that you went?
Yes, of course. Now, Sash in itself is actually a branding, and it is something that has actually helped me. I think those days that I used to put it on, and even right now when I'm meeting some, some of these models, I got to put it on once in a while. Now, it is a way of actually, it's just like it says, it's a very important regalia, and it's branding. And actually, it is a representation. You call this a ceremonial thing. So then it has to be there. It is important because, again, that is actually the very first bit somebody sees. Before they ask you, they don't need to ask you. Yeah. They'll just see. The crown speaks for itself. You don't have to say, I'm a beauty queen. You don't have to say, I'm a king. I don't know if nowadays these models they say they are kings as well.
No, it's just I think the meaning of sash has lost meaning because I meet some of the models with like 6 sash. So it's not even beautiful dressed here. They have some in their hands and stuff like that. So it looks very ugly. Sorry, you cannot have to be a president in 3 countries. It has to be Kenya, it can't be Uganda, Tanzania, and stuff like that. If then they just kill the other president and become president of East Africa. So I think models, you must know your value. So if you think you have many sash, which one is the biggest? Then have that. It becomes untidy. You have a beautiful dress, but you have so much on it that it kills the beauty of the sash. So sash is very important, and I think to put it well is you cannot have kofia for AP, kofia for GSU, kofia for Army. It looks
latest if possible, Mr. Leakey. Yes. Remember even Messi decided to donate some 8 Ballon d'Ors to his former club.
Yes, yeah.
Mbona nabeba sash kama 10?
You talk about Messi, one of my technical guys would be the happiest. I think he's the happiest man to because I keep talking about Ronaldo. I was not very happy about it. It's about of Messi. Thank you, Peter. Carol, your sash and crown, did it open doors for you at some place?
Yes.
Many places.
Many places.
Good. So the models that are coming up, it doesn't matter how small the sash is, but when you carry it well, that crown is not to be put, you don't need to put something heavy on your head. It means a lot when it is there. So you have to carry it with grace and glamour. Before we leave, Felix,
yes,
can you give the young people that are into this industry a word of advice?
Well, very important. You need to get mentors. 2, you need to do what you call research, proper research. All right? Yeah, so that you get to know your industry. And then, of course, be a good representation of the industry. Then that is very important. And of course, for models as well, it is important also to look for what we call representation. The other day you talked about management. It is important because people outside there as well, not everyone means the best for you as well. So you need a representation. It is important. And if possible, attach yourself to these agencies. They are training agencies, they are catwalk training agencies as well as representation agencies. And then now you be on the loop on what's really happening across, the industry. And then you'll be good to go. Yeah.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Felix. Well said. Madam Carol, what did you tell this young girl who is trying to be a beauty queen? She's lost like 3 times. And she's almost giving up.
One thing I've learned in this life, never give up. I've always pushed myself and I always get whatever I want. I always go for that thing that I want. So every now and then, never give up. Continue pushing yourself. Go for it. Even when you fail, wake up and go for it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. The episode was on fire. I hope you've learned 1 or 2 things. Episode 12, we are thinking of episode 15, doing an open air where we have question and answers. We're in talks with National Theatre, so this probably will be the Wednesday before Easter. And again, if you don't subscribe, go online, look for Sash Style and be part of this journey. I know there are many, not just the models and their parents, but thank you so much for viewing us. Keep viewing every Wednesday, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. The crew behind there, this would not be a success without you. Asanteni sana. See you next week, Wednesday, same time, same people, different guests.
Enjoy your week.
Thank you.